Well, welcome back to another episode of In Good Company, where we believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. And today's guest is someone who I have known, we've talked about this before, since my college days. We didn't go to the same school, but we were intertwined with some mutual friendships, some good company that ultimately have led us to a place where we both have incredible entrepreneurial pursuits. And man, if you're at a spot where you're maybe a younger person, that you're like, man, am I too young to get started? Like, do I have to wait till I have this degree or this paperwork in order to pursue the thing that I'm called to do? This is the episode for you. I cannot recommend connecting with Dan in any capacity. All of his info will be in the show notes below. But without further ado, Daniel Snead, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course,
man.
I
love your studio. I just needed to say that.
Oh, appreciate that. Quick shout out for the Content House.
Absolutely.
Located here in downtown Rochester, New York.
Yes.
Well, listen, also just got to announce, this is our first ever podcast that's on TikTok Live. I mean,
yes.
we are live in the studio.
The Tiki-Taki. Let's go.
Let's go. It feels so good to be TikTok relevant in our 30s, you know?
Facts, bro.
I don't know what TikTok relevant means, but anyway.
You got to think about something.
All right.
We made social media what it is.
All right.
So we get to go anywhere. As millennials, you got to think, right?
Let's go.
We did this with MySpace. Then we did it again with Facebook.
Right.
So we get to go on whatever platform we want whenever we want because we started this.
I received that energy up in here.
Bro, we started this.
I remember having to put in my college email address in order to get on Facebook.
Yes.
That's like how...
And I was Facebook resistant. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm MySpace. Yeah. I was team MySpace.
Bro,
MySpace gang, bro. My top 16 was lit. I had music that turned on automatically when you came to my page. I had YouTube videos. What?
Me and my high school girlfriend at the time, we shared a MySpace.
Okay.
Which was just really dumb. But we were in love, man. It was that high school love.
I get it.
You know?
Bro, it's funny.
Anyway.
I shared my first MySpace page, but I shared it with my best friend.
So similar.
Bro, he didn't really have a home computer like that. So he was like always at my house. Shout out to Steve.
Let's go, Steve.
So it was the Steve and Dan page. And
I love it.
Yeah. So no, we as millennials, we get to go on whatever social media platform we want.
Yeah.
Because we built this.
Yeah, I love it. Well, it's funny you bring it up, and obviously we're going to get into your story here in a second, but I think that there is an older generation that kind of almost leans away from this oversharing type of thing. And even what we're doing today, TikTok Live, you are one of the best at documenting your life. And I think that so often people get a little bit hesitant with, I got to make sure everything's perfectly polished. I got to make sure I'm in a nice studio like this before I get a thought out there. You're posting videos in your car, at the gym, playing basketball, like doing whatever you're doing. How have you been able to kind of overcome that imposter syndrome or that feeling of it's got to be perfect? Like, give us some just quick game real quick on some advice on people that may be concerned with that.
So TikTok, right? That's the Wild West for me. Like, I have no niche on TikTok.
Yep.
On TikTok, I am just me. I literally if I feel like posting it, I'll post it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about my business. I'll talk about my faith. I'll talk about, like, it does not matter. Like, I'm posting whatever I want on TikTok. And so when you do it that way, and I have my Instagram is more for my business. So I do try to kind of stick more branded over there. But when it comes to TikTok, I'm there just to make new connections. And so the best way for me to connect with people is to be authentically me.
Yeah.
And so, bro, I play basketball. That's what I do. You know, I love helping and coaching kids with communication and stuff. I love that. I love being goofy. I'm extremely goofy. You show up to it. I had some people that I know show up to one of my TikTok lives just accidentally, and they were like, "Bro, we didn't even recognize you." I said, "Well, this is who I am. Like, I am the goofiest."
Yeah.
And it's funny. I was so on TikTok Live. One of the things is when you want to engage with the people in your room, so you scoop people up, right? You follow people, they follow you back. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying follow back because they don't like that phrase on there. But anyway, I was on there going scoop them up, scoop them up, scoop them up. So he brings that into a group chat that I'm in. So now it's a joke where everybody in the chat is like, hey, yo, scoop him up, Dan. It's just like, yo, like, this is who I am. I am incredibly goofy. I can also be incredibly serious.
Yeah.
I talk about my faith on TikTok. I just post whatever I want.
Yeah.
And it's very freeing for me because I'm so multidimensional, which many people are, multifaceted, that it became hard to just kind of live in, I only want to post, on branded content, niche content. I'm like, nah, you know what?
Yeah.
Who cares if I grow or not here? If I can make some solid connections, then that will be everything. And one of my guys on TikTok, Scotty, he might be watching this right now. He's a pastor down in northern Alabama. So we're in talks right now to bring a Best Bet Skills Academy conference to his church.
It's incredible, man.
And that's from being goofy on TikTok Live and just being Dan.
Yeah. Dude, if you're a business owner listening to this, if you are a young person listening to this, the world needs who you are, not just what you have.
Yep.
And I think we live in this ecosystem where we feel like we're only valuable with what's in our hands,
right?
With what we can do for somebody else, right? And I just think that, I heard someone say on Instagram that TikTok truly did break social media because now the most organically successful posts are the ones when it feels like you're FaceTiming a friend.
Yes.
If you can show up where you're not looking and talking to all, but you're talking to one, watch how your posts increase engagement.
I just had a post do 3.5 million views.
Yep.
And it was the most random thing. I was like, if you watch the Boondocks, this is an old cartoon, it's highly offensive. So just FYI, it's highly offensive. But I was like, if you watch that show, drop a phrase or a word in the comment from the show.
Yep.
250,000 likes.
Yeah.
115,000 comments.
Yeah.
And counting. And I just did that in my car on a like it was like a Thursday or something. And it was a picture that was just super random.
Yep.
But I showed up and I posted it, and I've actually met some really awesome people who have engaged because of that post. So,
bro, let me
myself.
Let me take it a step further, right? So our first ever, it's been about 1 year since we started our podcast, which we're really proud of. Our first ever episode, thank you. Our first ever episode was a girl named Mojo Provo.
Okay.
Her name is Morgan Joanna, but everybody calls her Mojo. She started a TikTok.
Okay.
She wanted to get just like a Harry Potter sweater that was a little bit more casual, kind of like low vibe, that was comfy. And she made one.
Okay.
For herself. She just got a little screen printer thing and like made it because she couldn't find any out there. And she posted it on TikTok and she goes, here's what I made. Like it's Harry Potter season. It's fall. Get cozy. She now has like 250,000 followers. She makes merch. She quit her job. She makes Harry Potter merch, Taylor Swift stuff. She built a beautiful brand new house. It built out her garage so that she can actually like have it as a production house for her stuff.
I love that.
From TikTok, right?
TikTok.
And again, it's a lot of times it's accidental.
Right.
Where it's like, look, if you can engage and be yourself, you invite other people to do the same.
Right.
And isn't that what we want as human beings, right?
We
that
just
we can
want
show
to be
up
seen as who we are authentically.
Yeah.
There's nothing more powerful for being seen authentically for who you are.
100%. Especially if you've grown up your whole life projecting or portraying to impress the parent, the teacher, the coach.
Yep.
And you've kind of lived with this like mask on, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And you feel like it's this performance-based acceptance.
Right.
And I see that in faith. I see that in religion with people. But man, you've done a great job of really taking that veil off and again allowing others to do the same. Give us a little bit of a rundown of where did Best Bet come from? Talk a little bit about, obviously we'll get into the book here in a second, but talk a little bit about Best Bet Dan. Really, what do you offer? I know you got an app, a website, like all sorts of programs that people can be a part of. Like talk a little bit about where did this come from? When did you get started?
So the app is gone, FYI.
Cool.
That was a shiny object syndrome type project.
It's great.
And it was a huge fail.
Yeah.
So but the app is gone. But so I knew, and I didn't understand why actually until 2 years ago. I knew that working a traditional job was not the best thing for me. I knew that because of the way I functioned. I knew that and I didn't understand why. I just knew that like I I need to be my own boss.
Yeah.
And so in pursuit of owning businesses, in pursuit of, hey, how do I take care of myself and a family in this world, but do it on my terms, right?
Yep.
So I started my first business at 19, and it was super cool because we were doing a television show, and we're doing all positive news.
I remember.
Yes, you were there. You were at Generation News. Yes,
I was there.
We used to have our meetings on campus at St. John Fisher.
Let's go.
Which is where we met because I lived with Rob at Fisher under the table.
Shout out Rob.
Rob Taylor. Yes. I basically lived with him his senior year, and that's how we crossed paths.
So Fisher, you can charge him, by the way.
No, Fisher. No, I'm giving you publicity, Fisher.
Right, that's right.
Come on, right? I'm making up for it. Yeah. So we did that, and we had some really awesome success, but we didn't turn it into money, and I really didn't know how to turn it into money. And shout out to, I want to give a shout out also to Primetime 585.
Yep.
Because Karen Iglesias and her husband Gerard, they're doing news, and Gerard was talking to Justin, who was my partner in Generation News. And he was saying, hey, we got a lot of inspiration for what we're doing with Primetime from what you guys did. We actually interviewed their son,
awesome.
Anthony, because he was a basketball protege. So shout out to them. But I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I didn't know enough. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so from there, again, just authenticity. I wanted to play ball. I did a pro basketball tour overseas. Yeah. And so like that was a whole journey in and of itself. That was a whole season. Came back from that. Didn't get signed to a contract, but I got into sales. And I got into sales on accident. I was looking to be a personal trainer.
Yep.
And the job told me, the interview said, the ad said we're hiring fitness coaches. So I thought I was going to go there and be a trainer, but I got there and said, no, we call our salespeople that.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is kind of standard in fitness. So I left that interview. I'm like, nah, I'm all set. I'm not a salesperson. I don't sell. That's not what I do. I couldn't find a job. Went back about a week and a half later and was like, I need that job. So they hired me and didn't really have anything good to say about sales, but I just learned. I learned how to do it. And I looked at sales as a trade. And during that time, that's when I was like, oh, snap, I don't have a degree. I don't have a career. So at this point in time, I am a salesman. And so I got some really, really good training and teaching. And so, boom, that took me to my next space in life where, I started another business, the Human Dictionary, teaching kids vocabulary words.
Yep.
And I did this thing called the Marathon of Hoops, which Google it. It was wild.
Yep.
But I made 26,220 shots in a weekend.
I remember all these stories.
That was nuts. Yo, I've had a life of side quests, bro. I'm a side quest pro.
But let me just pause there because I actually love how you started this whole segment. You talked about the fail.
Mm-hmm.
You go, I had shiny object syndrome. We don't have an app, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to that because you can see the good-looking brand. You wrote a book. You're an author.
Mm-hmm.
You've been helping kids. You're providing for your family. Like you can see all the success side of what you've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
But being that side quest person who is able to pivot, make adjustments, and here's the kicker. You don't just pivot and make adjustments. You are in a spot where you don't let a failure in business make you a failure as a person.
Right.
And I think what can happen if someone's listening that maybe has had a failure, if you haven't, you will.
Right.
Don't wear that. And you have not worn that.
Yeah.
And I think that I just can't encourage you enough with, I don't care what people's opinions are of, I started a podcast years ago and it was terrible. And guess what? I learned skills and I was able to apply those skills to something that is now a lucrative venture for me.
Right.
So talk about how have those failures or course corrections over the years actually ultimately got you to this place today where you feel like you're able to shine?
So it's wild because you hate failure. You hate failure. Like, I want to say I'm a perfectionist, but I am somebody who I like to win. I like success. And so there's something deep within me, bro, that just says that the dreams that you have, the vision that you have for your family, it's far too great for you to quit on.
Yeah.
And it was a gift given to me by God.
Yeah.
And so with those two things, I cannot stop. I am habituated to keep going. And I'm not always, I'm a very positive person, but I'm not always the most positive person, because sometimes I feel failure. Sometimes,
of course,
and it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he went out into business for his first time. We're the same age, and we were talking. I asked him about business, and he said, "Hey, I'm actually, it wasn't going as I had planned. I'm starting a new job on Monday." And I chuckled to myself, because I'm like, man, he experienced his first failure, and we talked through it, and I just said, hey, look. This is just the first one. You'll have other ones. And even though we're the same age, I've been out here in these entrepreneur streets for years now. And so just to encourage him, and it's like, I've been broke like 5 times. I've like went broke. Like
yeah.
like,
yeah.
And so it doesn't always feel the best. And you have to take control of up here.
Yeah.
If you do not step on ants will eat you alive.
Yeah.
And when I say ants, I'm talking about automatic negative thoughts. You have to kill them. You can't, oh, well, you tried this before, it didn't work. Oh, you did this, it didn't work. Oh, you tried running ads, it didn't work. No, I have to do it again, because I just believe I'm going to make the next shot. And I think that's why I love basketball so much. Because I don't care how many shots I miss in a game. I'm going to take the game-winning shot. Like, if I have the ball in my hand again, I'm going to shoot it. I don't care if I've been 0 for 20 the whole game. Yeah. I'm going to keep shooting, because one has to go in.
Yeah.
And so I just started preaching real quick. Whew, I'm getting hot,
on, bro.
But
we have a choir that just like comes out from the back.
That would be fire, bro. just levitates up.
It's like, Allie, choir button, choir.
Right. Yeah. Facts. We work on that.
Got
We'll
it.
have that for the next
one. Note taken.
But yeah, no, the journey has taken me different places where, there were certain times. There's 2 books that I read that have been very helpful. One of them being Think and Grow Rich. And the main word in that book is think. And so whenever I found myself like, staring at like, a potential defeat, or like I start thinking like, I gotta think, what do I have? What can I use? And I just think. And I'll just devote time to just thinking, which turns into praying. Because I start asking God, hey, what we doing? How we doing this? And then like, you come up with things like, there was a season where I was working with a car exporting company, and it seemed super sketch. Yeah. Because so car exporting is not illegal, but dealerships want to make it seem that way, because they get punished by manufacturers if they sell a car and it immediately gets exported.
Got it.
So they try to make it look very shady, right? But it's not illegal at all. So here I am with this business, and it was funny because when I met the guy, I met him at Midtown. This was maybe like, at this point, sheesh, it was maybe like 10 years ago, because I was getting ready to have my first kid. And he needed quality people to go buy $100,000 cars, but also wouldn't believe it was a scam, because he kept getting ghosted because of Craigslist. He was finding people to be these buyers on Craigslist. And so I said, I got a network of people. I know people all over the country, because I do network marketing, and we have an event all over the country 4 times a year, and I just meet friends. And so I started working with him, and literally we sent like, I want to say we sent like $4 million worth of cars overseas together, Range Rovers, GL 450s. But I thought, I was like, hey, when he was telling me about what he did, I saw a problem. I said, you need good people. I know good people.
Yeah.
And we made it work. And so there was that. So that was, leveraging relationships, leveraging my credibility. Because that's what the thing that what made money there is that these people believed that everything was okay, even though it seemed sketchy. Yeah. Even though when they would go on the internet and Google it and they say, oh no, this is, they like, but I trust you, Dan. And I was able to leverage that credibility and trust and made some good money. And then more failure. Like I failed the Human Dictionary venture. I just ran out of money. I just couldn't keep building it. And I got to Best Bet Skills Academy. That was the original question. I got there because this was before, it was right before the pandemic. I started thinking about it. I started kind of putting it together. I was living in my own home. My wife and I, we owned a home. She was still working at Excelis, and I was full-time entrepreneur. Now, the thing that I never really explained to people because I didn't have to is that my wife, she was at Excelis, but she was salaried. So there was no overtime. Her income was fixed.
Got it.
So as our expenses grew, like I had to go get money. Like it was my job. And so I looked, I was like, wow, I'm in my like early 30s-ish. I don't have to work a job and I like my lifestyle. How did I get here?
Yeah.
What am I doing that in many cases I can just go create money? My wife today, I created an opportunity with a company because I'm talking to a guy I met at the gym and I think I can solve a problem that he has.
That's it.
And my wife, she's making the agreement that he's going to sign. And she just looked at me. She goes, you literally just create ways to make money.
Yeah.
and it's not BS. It's not like you're not scamming, but you find ways to offer value to people. And so as I began to look at that trend, I found that there was a skill set that I was always putting to work. It was I could build relationships well. I understood how to sell. I know the psychology of selling. I know how to speak well, you know, not just on a podcast or in front of a crowd, but when I'm around different groups of people. Yeah. There's sometimes I went to a basketball tournament on Frost Avenue in the middle of the hood, and I'm there and I'm Dan. I'm just chilling, you know, and I'm communicating with those people there. Yeah. But I'm also playing basketball at the YMCA in Pittsford in the morning with guys who are doctors, lawyers, literally doctors and lawyers and CEOs. And I'm able to communicate there. So public speaking is so much more than just being on the stage. Yeah. Every time you open up your mouth in front of a group of people, you're public speaking. And so that promoting I have a really, really awesome relationship with the owners of Body Fuel. And I went to high school. Shout out to Bridget and Bobby. I almost forgot Bobby's name. Shout out to you guys. But I just love their stuff. And you probably seen me post Body Fuel because I post Body Fuel all the time. Yep. And I just promote it. But that promoting, it's funny. Me and Bobby went to high school together, but really didn't talk much in high school. I actually had one class with his older brother. But through promoting their stuff, which I love, it created a relationship. Yeah. And they've helped with multiple students and different projects. So promoting is something I tell people all the time, like, if you like needs to like make money fast, find a small business you love. Yeah. And just start promote. Don't ask for anything. Yeah. Just start promoting them. Just start screaming what they do from the rooftops. They're going to see you because you know it. If somebody today just decided that, they love what Mike Thomas was. Yeah, no doubt. In Good Company. Yeah. And they started posting, quality, favorable content about your business. After about a week or so, you're going to be in their DMs like, hey, so what we doing? Like, how can we make more of this? Yeah. How can we get you to do this more? Because you cannot beat authenticity. And so when business owners find somebody who can promote well, who is willing to promote and yell their stuff from the rooftops, literally, they will figure out a way to pay you to continue that behavior because it's super valuable. Yeah. In a world where attention literally is money. Yep. If I can get your attention and I can talk to you about things that I love just because I love them, you'd be a fool as a business owner not to do your darndest to catch that person and figure out, hey, how do we team up and how do I make it mutually beneficial for us both? Yeah.
Our whole business, we run a marketing agency called Thomas Media Group. Our whole business comes down to this equation. Value generates trust, and trust generates revenue. Right. So as you give people value, it could be solving a problem, it could be humor, it could be memes, like you're just giving something to them
Yes.
that they can consume.
Yes.
It establishes trust.
Yes.
When you're on the basketball court with a doctor, a CEO, whatever, and you passing the ball, you hit the game-winning shot, you just keep showing up each morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, bro, you need an extra Gatorade, here you go, boom, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is established.
Yes.
Then when it's time for that moment of they're just shooting, conversation with you, you guys are talking afterwards, getting your shoes off, and he goes, man, I got this thing at work I'm stressed about, whatever. Now he's like venting to you. He's
Right.
talking with you.
Right.
And now you look at him and go, well, dude, I actually, do this. I have this solution. Or, and this is what you're brilliant at,
Mm-hmm.
if I can't personally provide you this solution, I'm networked enough
Yes.
that I will find it.
Mm-hmm.
And just like a waiter at a restaurant, I will go back to the kitchen.
Yep.
I will find the thing that you need.
Yep.
I'll put it back on the platter.
Mm-hmm.
And here you go, my friend.
Yep.
And that is one of the greatest attributes that anybody listening could have in life, in business.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, just because you're responsible for everything, doesn't mean you have to do everything.
Right.
Doesn't mean you have to solve everything.
Right.
And I think, again, just being all the way back from, when you were 19 and you started Generation News and seeing the journey that you've taken, I love what you do, but I love who you are. And it makes sense what you do and how you're able to incorporate your family in it and continue to set that precedent. For those that are listening, this is a common question that I find with what I would call scrappier entrepreneurs like you and myself.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know, and maybe you have some examples in your previous work environment, how do you know when something is a hobby
Mm-hmm.
and something is a career business that you can pursue?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times people stay in hobbies too long
Mm-hmm.
that don't make them money,
Mm-hmm.
but they love it. They feel like God has called them to it, like they have all that energy behind it, but it's actually draining their bank account.
Right.
It's not providing for their family.
Right.
What would you say as just, and this is a question I did not prepare you
Sure.
for.
No,
so,
you're good.
but what would you say is that, like, just that kind of quintessential moment of, here's when I knew that these things needed to die.
Yeah.
Like, here were some of those reasons.
Yeah.
And then what really separates that business that you feel like is worth pursuing, like you're currently doing now?
Yeah. Whew. That's a layered, super layered question, but I love it. So the one thing, and this is something that I try to go by, right, is so I look around this room, and around this room there are wires, and all of these wires are coated with rubber, right? And somewhere there's companies who make this rubber, and they didn't grow up saying, man, whew, one day I'm gonna make rubber.
I'm gonna wrap these cables so good.
Listen, I'm going to be the #1 cable wrapper in the world.
Yeah.
No one ever did that. They found a need, and they said, hey, there's margins in filling this need.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make a living. I'm going to make something from it, right? And so I think that, and this is something that I try to do, and I try to separate as much as I can. Sometimes you got to jump in and just go make rubber.
Yep.
Like with this project I'm working on right now that I'll start tomorrow, I'm making rubber. It's not something that I'm like, man, I just want to. Nah, I'm making rubber.
It's great.
I got to make something shake.
It's great.
I got a skill set. I'm going to make some rubber. Now, when I make rubber and I show up and I'm doing that thing, right, and if I can create enough value making rubber, it allows me now to continue the things that I love.
There you go.
Maybe for free, or maybe I can work it on my terms or on my schedule.
Great.
I can build it. So even one of the things with Best Bet is that so many people have said, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. A lot of people are like, oh, you just got to get a grant, and then you got to, offer this to more kids. The way you're doing it, and you need more. And I'm like, I don't need more kids. I like coaching. This is something where I am, when I work with a teenager or a young adult, I'm their coach. I'm walking through a season of life with them where I'm looking to get results. I don't want to cheapen that. I have no desire to cheapen that. And so many times people are like, oh, and it's a lot of times people are more on the periphery of, well, your price is your price. I'm like, no. Price is actually my least objection that I get when I'm there, when I'm at the point of enrollment, like yes or no. I don't get a lot of price objections.
Right.
Because I'm a good salesman. You know, I do my due diligence to where I'm talking to my right audience. I do my best to qualify people before I get to that point.
Yeah.
Typically, the reason why a student doesn't enroll is they're not the right fit, or the parent doesn't see the vision and the kid does, or the kid sees the vision and the parent doesn't.
Yeah.
That's actually my biggest problem. But I don't want to change what I offer because of that. And I don't want to change the price, and I'm not going to change the price because I know the value of what I bring to the table when a young person actually really taps in with me. And so if I got to go make rubber for a little bit to make something shake and figure out, hey,
it's great.
How do I pivot into, you know, building this a step further? Then I'm cool with doing that. So that's my thing is sometimes you got to know when to just, hey, I need to jump in. And even with making rubber, like, I have a set of, now this is very personal. I have a set of principles on how I like to make money. And if it doesn't align with how I like to make money, I won't do it.
Yeah.
Because to me, legal money, right? Because, you know, I don't mess with anything illegal. But to me, even legal money, not all good money is money for me. There's certain ventures or certain jobs where I'm like, man, that's really cool. And yeah, I can make a lot of money doing that. But I know I'm going to be miserable in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so it's knowing and understanding you. And then again, it's just like, okay, so if this is something that I'm married to a vision in a certain way, then I gotta just figure out how I can make rubber until I'm able to make things shake over here.
And I think as a general statement, you really feel interested in making rubber when your back's against the wall.
Absolutely.
And you don't have a choice.
Oh, you get great at making rubber.
Oh, you sure do. And I remember early on in my business, we lost 50% of our sales overnight. 2 people canceled. It was about $13,000 worth of monthly recurring revenue. They had signed a year-long contract. They were 2 months into the contract. They both canceled at the same time. I looked at my team. I looked at my wife. I looked at myself. And guess what my first thought was?
What's up?
I can do this.
I love that.
I was made for this.
Yep.
I'm not going to hesitate on price. I'm not going to hesitate on value.
Yeah.
I know that I can solve very real problems.
Yep.
And I fast forward to where I am today in my business and my life, and those type of moments only come with good company, with people that have gone before you, that I can call and lean on and say, dude, this is what happened. Can you help me with something? Can you, whatever. And watch what happens. You start letting people and be vulnerable with people. Let them in to help you. The vast majority of people are good people, and they want to help you when they can.
Right.
That's the other benefit of being a well-networked, connected person. Is not just you serving them. It's, oh, guess what? You reap what you sow, and they will serve you. Right. And so when you're vulnerable and open with people, someone actually asks you, yo, how you doing? How are things? Actually, I just lost 2 huge clients, man. I'm scrapping through. I'm trying to figure stuff out. Give me 1 second. I'm going to call my buddy. I know he was talking about this at dinner last week, and boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, you got a rubber making opportunity. Here's the problem. People start thinking they're whatever don't stank. They get to a place where they feel like they are too big to serve.
Ego.
They are too, bro, I'm in my 30s. I used to do that stuff in my 20s.
Right.
Here's what I deserve. Here's what I've earned. And I got a news flash for whether you are 22, fresh out of college, or you are at the end of your career thinking that that corporate ladder that you climbed was going to be better than it is. Wherever you are, do not lose the heart to serve people.
I want to jump back to the thing you said, what you were saying before about asking for help or being vulnerable. And I'm speaking directly to the audience right now.
Yeah.
There's somebody out here, you need help. And here's what you have to understand about asking for help. When you ask for help and someone helps you, that is actually it's a two-way benefit. That's not one way. When you don't ask for the help you need, you're actually stopping someone else from contributing to the world in a way that will benefit them. In a way that will bring not just value, but that will bring purpose. That will bring that's the word I wanted, fulfillment. Your problem is somebody else's fulfillment, because that's how we're designed to need one another. You know, we need oxygen. Man. Trees need CO2. We're designed to need each other. And so it works this way. So if you need help, you literally, and literally, there might be an opportunity for the person that helps you in them helping you.
It's wonderful. Let me just make a statement too. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness.
Right. It's brilliance.
The world that we live in, man, I gotta show the best and hide the rest. I can't have people thinking that I need help. I got it all figured out. Don't worry about us. I'm good over here. Okay. Like you can be that lone wolf and you can try to do that thing on your own. In my 36 years of life and experience, the more that I give people the opportunity to help, it is that ecosystem that moves everything along. One of our first clients, one of our favorite clients, we've been with them for 3 years. I finally mustered up the courage to ask the owner of this very prominent business, hey, can I take you to lunch? Like we got some business things, we're hiring some employees, I just need some help. The first thing she says to me when we sit down to lunch is she goes, I was waiting for you to ask me.
See?
And here I am like making stuff up in my head, like I don't want to be weak, I don't want to whatever.
Bro,
you just got to ask.
We need help. Yeah. If you're watching this right now, I need help. I need leads. So if you know motivated young people that are looking for, hey, that next step, that advantage, like send them to me. If you know kids who are like, yo, like I'm hungry, but I hate school.
No doubt.
Send them to me, like, cause I am in need and I'm good at what I do.
No doubt, man.
You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, if my son wasn't only 5 years old, I'd send him your way, but
that's a fact.
You don't want to deal with him right now.
When he's ready.
He's crazy.
When he's ready, right. I got a 4-year-old, so I already know.
Yeah, I know you do.
Pandemic babies are different.
Oh, bro. That whole first year of life, they're like, oh, I got mom and dad to myself.
Right.
Like, I got everything under control.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's
well, dude, before we get into rapid fire hot seat questions as we close, talk a little bit about Get More from the Game. What I'd like to do is when we post up a clip on social, you'll see it in the show notes. I'd like to give away a book for people that tag us in the comments, reposting their story, stuff like that. But talk a little bit about the book.
In the car. I was supposed to bring one in, and I forgot.
Good. That's all good.
Dang.
So the book. Give us a rundown.
Get More from the Game. All right. So I'm all about communication. I'm all about communication. That's the whole thing that Best Bet Skills Academy is built on, whether it's relationships, promoting, whatever. It's all communication, right? And so I found that sports parents, they really weren't investing on that side. You know, they got the best coaches, the best strength and conditioning trainers. Bro, high school kids have dietitians.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like they're taking this thing very seriously, and as they should, if they
and some are getting paid.
Yes, that part too. And so, but I noticed it was a very noisy space to get their attention and say, hey, you know, send them through my program. And so, but I was like, man, I got this. I have something I feel like I need to share with athletes, because the whole thing you went through about, hey, when you're playing ball and then, you know, there's that conversation, a lot of us will get to that in our late 20s, early 30s.
Sure.
But we're not looking for that at 15.
Yep.
But the difference, and even in sports, the only thing that made Tiger Woods a phenom was that he did it when he was 15.
Right. Yep.
If he did what he did and he started at 30,
yep,
he would not be the phenom, or it wouldn't have been as big as it ended up being, because it's normal. Yeah. You're supposed to do that when you're that age. But he was dominating grown men as a teenager. And so when you look at that, the preparation started early.
Yeah.
It started early. And so as we prepare our kids for sports, and it starts early, right? Like at one point, you know, it was like, hey, if you're going to get a Division I basketball scholarship, you got to be on coaches' radars in 7th grade.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so if you're going to invest that much in the sport, which no matter what, sports is a season. High-level sports, it is a season of life. It's never going to be your whole life. It is always going to be a season, because Father Time is undefeated. Now, LeBron is trying to prove that wrong, and I'll give him that. Like, that's what I give him that over MJ. He's got longevity. That's different. That in year 23, he's still a top 10 player. That's wild. But you will communicate with people forever.
Right.
You will never stop communicating with people. And if you start to coach there and you start to get your young person or young people, you start to build that muscle and build that skill, that is going to pay you dividends for life.
Yep.
For life. And so I wanted to, and the title of the book is very telling, Get More from the Game.
Yeah.
There's so much more that you can get from these sports. And I walked through AAU tournaments where I saw CEOs. You know, there's a company called Fala's. It's like a Big Lots type store.
Right.
They're all over the country. I met David Fala at an AAU tournament. Now, here's the thing. I met him as an adult. So, yeah, we talked and we rubbed shoulders. But if I was 15 and I talked to that man and we had a great conversation,
No doubt.
I said, I want to keep in touch with you because the way you're doing things, I want to do things like that. Bro, I guarantee you, I would have created something special because 15-year-olds don't talk to me like that on a regular basis.
Yep.
You stand out.
Yep.
You're playing a different game in a different league.
Yep.
And you're getting more from the game. You know, instead of being on these kids at these tournaments, it doesn't matter what sport, they have a ton of downtime.
Yeah.
And during that downtime, they're on a phone, on a device, or they're with the people you came with. Man, there's people in this arena that if you don't talk to them this weekend, you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
You literally, this is your shot to connect with them. And if you don't connect, it's over. So the concept for the book came from that and also from failure.
No doubt.
It was a speech first. So I'm trying to go get booked to go give speeches and nobody booked me. So I got to tell somebody this.
Let's go.
So I wrote a book.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Again, we could sit in that failure conversation, and we should do a part 2 at some point. But there's so much we can get into there, because if you're listening to this and if you've listened to this whole episode, it's one step at a time, and one moment of failure does not have to create a lifetime of disappointment.
Yeah.
There's moments and seasons, but if there's any reoccurring thing that I'm feeling from this episode, it's okay to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
It's a sign of no longer am I going to stay in this and live in this and sulk in this.
Yeah.
But there is a good life ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a phrase, if it's not good, God's not done.
Mm-hmm.
And if we actually believe that God is good, then continue to put one step in front of the other. Ask for help. There's people around that want to help you.
And fail fast.
Yeah.
Fail fast. That's one of my things now. I just try to fail fast.
It's great.
Like if it's like Best Bet is a legacy project to me. So that is something I will see through.
Yep.
But there's some other projects like I had Stanley Cups, right?
Oh, that's right.
So Stanley, right, was a men's construction brand, and then they got a new CEO, and then they noticed that women were buying these cups and pastels, and then they just played to that. So Stanley was taken over by women. So I made a cup called the Manly Cup.
Yeah.
And me and one of my best students, one of my students, Roman. Shout out to Roman. Roman's over at Brown University. He made the soccer team this year, and I'll be at the game against Cornell in November. I'm gonna be there, Roman.
Let's go.
But yeah, so we did this project where we designed these cups, and they were like canteen styles, and it was very manly, and it was the Manly Cup, and it flopped.
Yeah.
But we did it fast, and so we failed fast, and so now we know, hey, it didn't work.
Yeah, it's all good. And again, you're learning from the previous, maybe holding on for too long type of seasons, and you've been able to apply that.
Yep.
Because the fear of the unknown on what's on the other side of failure. You already experience what's on the other side of failure
So many times.
So you're not timid to go over there anymore,
right? Because
you know what's over there. You know what's over there? Another chance to win.
Boom.
So just get there. Yeah.
I made it through 100% of my worst days.
Great. That's great, man. Let's dive into these hot seat questions.
Let's do it.
This is so fun. All right, here we go. To start your day, are we a coffee or a tea drinker?
Neither.
Or energy drink or any of that?
Water.
Yeah. Good old fashioned.
Well, I'm down 20 pounds right now, bro. I got another 20 to go.
Let's go.
So yeah,
you look good.
I'm gonna dunk again in my late 30s. Watch.
All right.
Watch.
I will never dunk. Back then, again, anytime. Favorite athlete of all time. It's gonna be a tough one.
MJ's the GOAT.
All right.
MJ.
All right.
Michael Jordan.
What is a book or podcast that's changed your perspective? I know you brought up a book earlier.
I'm gonna bring up another one. Same author.
Okay.
Outwitting the Devil. Have you read that?
No.
Have you read Think and Grow Rich?
Yes.
So it's by Napoleon
I didn't realize
Hill.
it's the same guy.
Yeah, bro. Outwitting the Devil is scary. Read it. I got the audio. I got the hard copy.
I remember like Screw Tape letters back in the day from
I got
C.S.
that.
Lewis,
Yep.
like written from the perspective of yeah.
So this book is like a conversation with Napoleon Hill and the devil. Bro,
Whoa.
it's so fire.
Okay.
So fire.
What's your go-to hype song before like a speaking engagement or even like before a basketball game? Like what's the jam?
Go-to hype song. I'm not a consistent hype song person. My hype song changes with my mood.
All right.
So I have different hype songs, but there's a song that probably nobody knows. My friend Freddie Gonzalez made it. It's called David.
All
and
right.
it's based on David from the Bible.
Cool.
I'm gonna let you listen to it before I leave. It's
Love it.
actually fire.
Love it.
And I don't know, maybe it'll go viral because of this.
Let's go. Last one. What is one word that your students would use to describe you?
There.
Oof.
I'm just there.
That's great.
I design my program. A lot of times people will ask me, well, why is it so long? Well, why do you do years? Because for how I'm engaging with my students, for what happens with life and the things that come up, I need to be there. And so I have students that they may be disengaged for over a year with me, but then they come back and I'm there.
Bro, it's wonderful. It's awesome. Thank you so much for the time today, dude.
Thank you for having me, man.
It's been so surreal to see your journey, to see where you are today. Just honored that you would take some time with us today. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of In Good Company, where we really do believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. Take care.
Thanks for listening to In Good Company. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more information or to connect with Mike, visit him online at thomasmediagroup.co or on Instagram at Michael L. Thomas. Thanks again for listening, and remember, the best of business happens in good company. We'll see you next time.